So, happiness and wisdom. 11 steps. If your mind really accepts this, your thought, speech, and action will change. Or, in other way, I can say that how to overcome life challenges, fears, anxiety, suffering, pain points. You will continue to have problems outside, but now you know you have a wisdom to solve. You have a clarity. And gradually they are minimized, including the physical, mental, and emotional suffering. All the three. And that is why I have been emphasizing these 11 steps. You have already seen that we are jack of all trades and master of none. We pick up something from different streams of the knowledge. So last time we picked up the value mathematically. You put 0, million 0 before 1, it has no value. And you put a million zeros after 1, it gives you a value. But 1 does not change. That is what we have understood in the last session. But why we have understood this value? Because knowledge, teacher, intellect, past impression, emotion, mind. So if the mind, whatever the value that mind gives, to different situation, and that causes either anxiety or peace, reaction or response, happiness or unhappiness. Value. To remind you, we discussed mind as a filter, the I, the one, number 1 and 0 metaphor. So imagine that your mind is a sophisticated camera. It does not passively record the world, it actively interprets through the filters. Have you seen that? It gives the interpretation through the filters. Every experience camera has shaped by the way my mind processes it. Are you getting it? Again, let us see. Before the camera, my mind, before the camera, I'm comparing. My mind even captures any event, it has a preset setting. Now we have 2K, 4K. So what is the preset setting? My past experiences, my memories, prarabdha, associations, inherent tendencies. Clear? And then the raw event. Raw event is 0. Unfiltered reality. The 0 represents the raw input, an event, a person, situation. You see what is that raw event? There is a tradition. There is a tradition in our that if you offer the lotus flower to the goddess of wealth you'll be able to earn, you may become a billionaire. Don't start doing it, because in US we don't find the lotus flower. Someone asked me. So he said, what is the significance if I... Now see, where you are located, you cannot have a lotus flower. Even if you get one and you offer one day, but our teacher, our text says that you have to offer this flower for at least 11 years to become a billionaire without fail. Without fail. So what will happen if you are offering the lotus flower for 11 years? Your mind will change. That is the message. So we ask sometimes crazy questions. It does not mean come back. Pay attention, the zero value. So if zero comes before one, it holds no meaning. Pure awareness remains. That one is pure awareness. I don't have any name in the form. That is what we were understanding. But the moment you put zero after one, it may be an attachment, it may be a detachment, it may be a reaction. Say, for example, simple example. You are attending the session, so your focus should be on the knowledge. But your focus goes to the beard. He thinks that he is very intelligent, having the mind. Mind is giving an interpretation. Mind. So the mind creates many compartments. Your mind creates many compartments. No. Oh, this is a very good metaphor. Now the mind has returned again and it is focusing on the knowledge. Again, the mind has gone somewhere else. Oh, yesterday, that guy is crazy, The mind constantly creates the raw input. Constantly, consistently. Did you get it? Even now, it might be creating. And that raw input, whether it is coming from the intellect or whether it is coming from the mind. If it is coming from the mind, it is prarabdha, it is my past impression, it is attachment, it is detachment. It will definitely cause you the problem. It will cause you the anxiety, it will cause you the self-doubt, and long list. So that is why we say that you have to see without filters. You have to see there is pure awareness has to be there. But how we get it? If you repeat every day all the first 8 steps, you have to check it. You have to analyze your thought, your behavior, your attitude, your action. It is going to help you rise in awareness. Otherwise, it will not work. Internally, you are working internally. And that is the verse I explained you. Vidya dadati vinayam. Do you remember? Knowledge to humility. Humility is to qualified seeker. Qualified seeker to the wealth of wisdom. Wealth of the wisdom results into permanent happiness. So you see that I started the New Year's series with the happiness and wisdom. We have already understood. Happiness alone, wisdom alone, we discussed in detail. and they come under these 8 steps plus the 3 steps. Have you ever thought, last week, did you contemplate what is the cause of the value? Dennis, did you think, what is the cause of the value? We are following in self-inquiry. It is the journey of the self-inquiry, cause and effect. I give you one idea. You have to contemplate and reflect. Clear? Okay. Our question is that why I give a wrong value to a particular person, to an event, to a situation, to a condition, and ultimately I experience the stress in my life. Is it okay? That part is okay. We already discussed that if the mind is married to the intellect, means the knowledge received from the teacher, the first marriage and the second marriage, if both the marriages are working fine, you need not to worry about anything. You have completed all the 8 plus 3 steps. I'm just giving you one idea. Yesterday I was in Phoenix. I met her. I heard her. So you see that what I said, outside travel. I go to the store, I buy the thing, I return home. I went to Phoenix, I did my work, I returned home. Clear? I went to the restroom, did everything, I came. So my travel outside is very well organized. Is it okay? Did you understand that? Very good. What about my travel inside? Travel inside. Look at it. I look at the Dennis. Dennis is a wonderful guy. Mind has created a big compartment for Dennis, but the next moment it's squeezed. He is also not so nice. Now my travel has compressed. And then went to the David, created a big compartment, and then compressed. How compressed? How it happens? Are you understanding how it happens? Understand that. Mind is traveling inside. It never reaches to a destination and continues to travel. Today Dennis is good, yesterday Dennis was not good. Mind is traveling. Are you understanding that point? Travel outside, that is why I gave an example of travel outside. Physical travel, it's perfect. I went to the store, I got the milk and come back to home. Are you getting it? I'm comparing again to make you understand. Okay? But when I travel, I have a soulmate. Okay, big, very big compartment. It's a mansion. Now you are a soulmate. That mansion has reduced to. Are you getting it? I'm trying to make you understand that. So, the mind that is traveling inside without any purpose, without any goal. When? All the time. Even in the dream. And you think that you will be in peace and happiness. How dare you think like that? You are, I mean to say, you are putting that mind to travel anywhere, everywhere, without any rhyme or reason. You go to the store remains the same when you travel outside. But when you travel outside, everything keeps on changing. Oh, he's good, but not so good. He's good, but not so good. He's crazy, he's crazy. Do you understand from where the reaction comes, the anxiety comes, the duality comes, conflict comes? I say to your son anything negative, you come and protect. You say anything, he is upset. Who is saying that? Mind. So mind has traveled to your son differently. Are you getting it? We are just trying to understand how come this value value increases, value decreases. You invest in stocks. I have one Indian friend who invested almost 1 million rupees, and even after telling him that he was not ready, last year it happened. No, I'm getting 11% return every month, and in which I'm able to make my living easy, and so I got everything. Then suddenly this guy stopped giving him the profit. After 3 months, he said, you asked me to invest. I invested it. Now you have lost all the shares, so I have nothing to spare. Mind is traveling inside. I'm not talking of the stocks, and I don't know anything about it. Are you getting it? Mind travel inside. Mind creates a big mansion. Mind squeezes that into a studio apartment about a person, about my thought, about my feeling. Are you? This is happening all the time. Problem that mind is called consistently and constantly traveling. Because when you wake up in the morning, what thought you had? And now what thought you have? These 11 steps, 8 plus 3 steps, will help you to understand the travel of your mind. Why you have an anxiety? Mind has traveled to some places. It has squeezed. Why you are having a great pleasure? The mind has expanded. Pleasure is not there outside. Reaction is not there outside. No one is responsible for your anxiety or pleasure or anything. It is the mind travel. Are you understanding what I'm saying? I am upset with you. You are saying to the sun, it is your mind has traveled. Sun has to do nothing. If you dig deep inside, it may be because of the past impression. It may be because of the social pressure. Oh, my neighbor's son, he got the honors roll, and my son, did you see the mind instantly traveled inside, created an image about the son of the neighbor's son and compared it, created, mind traveled so fast. Conclusion. Understand this point. So if you don't practice those 11 steps, nothing is going to happen. I can bet you. But gradually, if you are doing the practice, you will reveal yourself. You'll have many revelations. So, cycle of giving a wrong value and suffering are closely associated. I sent a message to someone, and simple message, common sense message. So common sense, there is no need to react, but the guy reacted to it. Don't think that I'm like that person. What should I say? Is it better to keep quiet? Mind travel. So the cycle of giving a wrong value and the suffering are associated together because of attachment, because of delusion. The result is fear, anxiety, suffering, and pain. We will understand when we go deeper into it. There are 3 types of pleasure-seeking mind. That instantly travels outside, picks up a thing, but still it is traveling inside. It fills the balloon, I'm elated. What a great guy you are. No, you are crazy. Think in terms of mind has traveled, not the other person's situation, event is right or wrong. Your son doesn't say to you, now I'm getting upset, so now you can be into anxiety. It is the travel of the mind because of my perception, because of giving the value. Once you settle into this wisdom, I started the series, I told you, happiness and wisdom. You'll be totally a different person. You'll be totally. So that different perception, different person. I'm repeating it. First step is study the Eastern wisdom daily. Mentally you are listening, it's okay. You are listening to the audio, that is okay. But you extract the wisdom and then you are getting ready to perform your duty. Others' right. Put the value here. Value others' right, my duty. And then ask yourself, will you have any problem of anxiety, duality, and a conflict? Ask yourself. But then, because of this, it gives you a sense of ego that I have performed my duty. No. Existence. with reference to the travel, mind travel. So even if I do something very good and I take over that responsibility, my ego will take over. I will have a wrong value, wrong judgment. That is why the third step. Fourth step, pleasure prompted desire is to escape the pain. I cannot say pain prompted desire. To escape the pain, I am seeking the pleasure from the world outside. Think in terms of the mind is traveling consistently and constantly. Still, it is traveling. Let me clean my accumulated sins. Unfavorable condition. Give a wrong value, unfavorable condition. Right value, favorable condition. Here and now. And then we recognize the defects of the worldly pleasures because the pain is hidden there. Seventh step, I discussed that I have an intense desire for the self-discovery. Now that value is not going to create any problem. I have an intense desire to know my real self. The mind will look inside. Mind will not look anything coming from outside. While living inside your home, you have left the home. You have left the home of all the wrong values. That is the meaning of leaving your home. But my honey will say that, say that you keep so silent. Who told you to remain silent? Now you are thinking, speaking, and acting out of peace, calmness, awareness in a moment. It will engage your honey much deeper. If it is not engaging you, it is because of ego. Because of the third step. You have not practiced. Because you have already given a little more value. Oh, look at it. Now I'm awakened, look at all those people in my house, It will cause more problem to you. Then you may not come to me, but you will go to other teachers. What's happening, So if the other teacher does not know, he says, oh, that weird guy is teaching you wrongly. This is with reference to, I'm just giving one clue, the mind traveling inside. Mind is traveling only at one thing, knowledge. Knowledge of the what? Knowledge of the real self. Finished. There is no mention, there is no squeezing of studio apartment. Studio apartment means anxiety reaction. Mention means I can still sustain my anxiety for some time because I have been appreciating you. Are you getting it? That is the journey. So the ninth step simply says seek the company of a teacher, listening consistently. Now, what else I can do? Keep on listening. That much we can, but listening plus contemplation and reflection. Supported by it. You have to be very clear. Don't accept any teaching of the teacher of the Eastern wisdom without validation. So what will happen? The 10th step states that we are connected to the entire existence, constantly and consistently living in a moment. There is an emotional connection. And the 11th step, then we will be talking about cultivating the 6 inner wealth. That is what I said. Qualified seeker gets 6 inner wealth instead of 6 enemies. 6 enemies, wrong value. 6 inner wealth, positive value. Do you see the journey of spirituality and the self-discovery? Read. So daily living. The moment I wake up, I meet the world outside. How? Through the perception of the senses and the mind. And mind starts its travel. It has many destinations. You are good, you are bad. I will achieve this, I will not be able to do this. Because brain is mechanical. I'm just going into a little bit of science. Brain is mechanical, but the mind is constantly giving a shock. Big mention and then squeezed. You are so good, so I also feel pleasure. Now, you are crazy, so squeezed. So I have constant bombardment of the mind with these values. The brain is not able to keep pace with it. It's a brain, it's a mechanical. It's a habituated. And in that habituation, it causes many problems. That is known as stress-induced disorders. Problem here, the depression. Problem little down, thyroid glands. Problem little, heart problem. I remember because yesterday she was only 23-year-old dancing on a podium, and within 5 minutes she had a heart attack. Ashok, are you surprised? Oh, so it means the girl does not have a heart. So anyone can have a heart, can have a heart attack. Brain is not able to keep pace with it. And that creates a lot of stress and anxiety. Or whatever we can use the word. Think of it. Don't say that I have an anxiety. The mind has traveled to anxiety by giving a wrong value. That is my message today. Lot of pleasure. Hold on. Mind, you have traveled somewhere else inside. So when you think and reflect in this way, what is going to happen? You have an anxiety mind, come back. Too much of pleasure, mind, come back. I don't have anything, I'm so much suffering. Mind, come back. Reset and restart. Ah, my honey left me. No worries, no worries. Now I can live in happiness because my honey has come. Mine, come back. Have you seen in the society, what will happen to me? Nothing will is going to happen to you. Allow the mind to come back. Don't allow the mind to travel. What we say in a proverb, no man's land. When you give a value to the no man's land. Problem is this, and that is known as the deeper level of ignorance, value, attachment, suffering. I have already explained. So the three steps are there. Ninth, keep on continue listening and learning to reflect. The 10th step is emotional quotient, emotional intelligence. How to bring that emotional intelligence. I have already given one lesson on this today. And then once you have given the knowledge is settled in the intellect, first marriage is intact. You have given the emotional intelligence to the mind because then it will desire the real self. Because of these two, you have the six inner treasures that will consistently and constantly remove the past impressions, my habits, and impulsive personality. It will constantly dissolve that. And then we start living in a moment, in a deeper meditation. Wherever you sit, it will be just a meditation journey. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Place, position, and posture. Why? Because we all are seekers. You can invite others also to join this session. Don't worry, even if they refuse, let them refuse. The mind has given a right value. You have gone there. He refused or she, it's okay, it's a part of the life. But don't, but if you are clumsy, you are holding yourself back. No, that is not fair. If I invite my friend, he will or she will expose me. That's a wrong approach because you are already exposed. Being comfortable. Check again. Being comfortable, clear, being carefree. Don't start scratching your head. Being carefree. Did you? It's a knowledge has to be applied there, my friends. My master one day said, no, you have to do it regularly. What to do? Keep listening. Means what? The knowledge will be settled in the intellect. And then we come to the flow of the breath. Just becoming aware of the flow of the breath. Check the flow of the breath is equal or not. It's 100% attention and awareness on the flow of the breath. Beautiful. And in that state, you are aware of the breath and you are aware of the first neighbor from outside the world. What is that? Remember the three words: time, space, objects. That is the word. There is nothing. How do you say that, my honey is an object? Obviously, for your mind, it is an object. But don't go on declaring your honey, he or she is an object. Then you are in a problem. Because they are not seekers. There is no problem because there are then the second neighbor is the body. Give the body a value. My body will not die. And then see what is the result. Mind has traveled that now I'm immortal, but I continue to have fear and anxiety about the body. Do you see clearly? And when you see it clearly, the mind is married to third neighbor, the energy. I'm trying different ways to make you understand. And third neighbor is the energy, hunger and thirst. Fourth neighbor is the mind. Mind is the duality. So here we are tackling the mind. Why don't you get married to inside? So I'm married to only one thing, knowledge inside. So the mind has no chance to travel at different places, locations, inside. And if it does not have it, then what is the state? Intellect and the I thought is the fifth neighbor. I thought. Sometimes we have a false no. I have reached there. You will experience it consistently and constantly. Don't allow the I thought to say it. And then the sixth neighbor is the ignorance. And we instantly recognize Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Now I think you remember all those the masses in this Shanti mantra. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Okay. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. I've given you some space so that your intellect reminds you. And if the intellect doesn't remind you, the mind is always ready to travel. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. With that mind, which has already given a value, it is not traveling to different places. What it means, there is no distraction, there is no wandering. The greatest sin that we commit in our life, we travel physically in the world to different places, and it is a perfect travel. Either we travel by air or car or rented, whatever it is. But we don't travel inside. Our mind keeps on wandering. So if you know the difference between wandering and the travel, look deep inside the forehead. So you see that now we are setting in tone. Look inside the forehead at a particular point. Now, did you understand why I say that you have to look there? I'll explain each and everything. And then you start dropping Om Shanti. Maintain the steadiness in the body and start breathing into the belly. Long, deep in the hissing. So there is a total expansion and total contraction. Don't make it small, one small, other big. No. We are not doing fire of breath or breath of fire. Fast expulsion, no. Inhale and exhale are equal. Continue, my friends, and you see what happens. Long, deep in the hissing breath into the belly. The belly expands fully and it contracts fully. So there is an equal duration of inhalation and exhalation. While don't forget to drop the Om Shanti. You know, this we are helping the mind never forget where you are. Don't travel too far. Don't travel too near. Attachment. Don't travel too far. Detachment. Transcend both. Are you not able to do? Mind is traveling. There is no other reason. So initially I said endurance and the joy of doing. Today, mind is not traveling. Mind is in fact wandering. We travel outside correctly. Common sense. Same common sense has to be applied inside. And stop this, start breathing deep, silent and slow. First into the belly, then into the rib cage, the nyasa. As you inhale, move the mind from the center of the top of the head to the spine, reaching to the tailbone, singing mentally Om Shanti. We want to check where the mind is really wants to travel or wants to wander. And as you exhale, move the mind from the tailbone to the top of the head. We brought the nyasa here to check if the mind is giving the value or if it is giving the value consciously, it means it meets the knowledge. If it is not, we know it. Movement of the mind along the spine, singing Om Shanti with the deep silent slow breath going up and down, and the mind enjoys that. The mind is traveling. Mind doesn't enjoy, it's not traveling, it's wandering. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Now leave this breathing, move the mind inside the heart, Visualize the triangle of any color, moving the mind on the side of a triangle, dropping Om Shanti to discover the mind is able to sync. If it is, that is the moment, moving the mind deep inside the cave of your heart, singing Om, when the mind seems to stop, and then Shanti. After that, there is no doer in you. There is a simple awareness. Self absorption, conscious understanding, no value. Even you don't have an idea that you have given many zeros before one. Obviously, there is nothing. That is what the Buddha says nothingness, emptiness. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, Samir?
Sir, I think you used one word, comeback. Comeback is a very powerful word, and I have been using it quite often from last many years.
Good.
Whenever my mind is outside, I mean, means my mind is confused or thinking about unnecessary things, then I repeat myself, come back. And as the mind goes inside, 90% of the time, there is no problem is not there. And 4-5% times it happens that I get a very peaceful solution of resolving that problem
Beautiful.
without harming anybody. This is my experience of comeback in my life.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
I use it in Hindi at वापस आ जा भाई कहाँ
Yes,
घूम रहा है means
yes,
I
yes,
use it
yes,
like that
yes, yes.
so that it is more understandable to me and it is.
Yeah, yeah. In those days, I used to teach comeback. Yes, it's almost the same thing as your mind is traveling or wandering. Mind is traveling, getting married to the knowledge. Mind is wandering. We already know it. I'm into anxiety. I have a lot of stress and I have a lot of problem. Yes, continue with the problem because you are born with the problem. How are you, Dennis? Very good, Sami. How are you, Dennis?
Now, thank you for the lesson and for this another metaphor of mind wandering versus mind traveling. The way I understand it is that the wandering is the job of habitual and instinctive mind, whereas the traveling is a job of the intellect.
Yeah,
And this wandering happens within the mind that just generates thoughts like a computer that generates series of numbers using some sophisticated algorithm.
yeah,
And in our case, it just depends on our past impressions and everything that we have been doing and thinking and speaking in the past. And then the mind gives value to each of these thoughts and treats the thought as good or bad, whereas it is just a thought and it has no intrinsic value and it is neither good nor bad. And then we just trust these values of the mind blindly. We believe that this thought is has such value and this has another value, and then the problems start. So this is the whole process of mind wandering. Whereas
yes,
when the mind is traveling, it is moving inside the knowledge, and it recognizes these movements of the mind, and it questions without just blindly believing the values. It questions the values, and it uh, reevaluates, and it understands that these values are have no ground, that they are not based on anything real. They are based only on the past impressions. And this is the way I think the traveling happens.
beautiful.
And my practice was deep and absorbed. Thank you.
Beautifully said, beautifully said. You know what mind travels mean the mind is married to the intellect. So simple. I did not use that expression, he used it. It's a beautiful. So mind travels means the mind is married to the intellect, so it has nothing to, it will not go after the past impression. And when it is going after the past impression, one, it is going to the prarabdha two, and it is evaluating. So it squeezes. It becomes a mention. It becomes a small Oh, I lost, my honey cheated me. So you see the contraction? Huh? Oh, I got a soulmate. Expansion. I'm just giving one example. You can apply this to dollars or any form of pleasure. So this is what is happening continuously for centuries. No, don't tell me I'm only 40 years old. No, it has been happening for many births. That is the problem. We are not awakened. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Yeah, the lesson was excellent. The metaphors, both Sumit and Dennis's reference to the mind traveling was very fascinating. Combined also with the what I call the presets that we have in our mind, and in photography, we can choose the output of our camera. We can choose RAW or JPEG, and JPEG puts all these past impressions and knowledge into the photograph to create the output. RAW is just what it is. So for me, that sort of went click. And Smeet, thank you for the comeback reference. I think that was very powerful. Meditation was very deep. Thank you.
Beautifully, yes, beautifully said. Not only JPEG, but also now they have 2K, 4K resolution. Huh? And these resolutions, you see, that is mind is wandering. Beautifully said. Thank you. How are you, Jay?
Sir, I'm good. Mind traveling, married to the intellect. For me, that's when the mind sees all events with no value or same value.
Yeah.
And then for me, that also is what auspiciousness is, because if everything has the same value, then we're set up for success in all events.
Yes, beautifully said. What I would say, when there is no value, then what happens? The real self reveals itself. It has the value of auspiciousness, it has the value of peace and happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. It is not dependent on the mind. We are already 100% clear. If the essential nature of the mind is happiness, then I will be happy all the time, wherever I wander, wherever I travel. But it is not so. That is what we are doing, a journey to the self-discovery. Very good. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. I played with the wandering and the traveling and with the mind during meditation today, and I was able to really see it, kind of sit back and watch it.
Beautiful.
Be in both states, and then I like the comeback as well, because that's really all you have to say is come back.
Yes, come back. Yes.
Yeah. Stop wandering and start traveling again.
Yeah, that I used to teach almost 25 years ago. But almost it is the same thing, in a way. How much your mind was traveling or wandering early in the morning when you woke up? I don't want to tell you because it will reveal the secret. Don't tell me. You see that we want to keep the treasure. We consider that wandering as a treasure. That is another problem. No, don't tell me. I'm just not. This we want to keep a treasure. My mind has traveled. I don't want to tell. So this creates another personality, another problem. I'll take up that. How are you, Christina?
Thank you so much. I'm just sitting with this sense of that we live and learn and grow with the wrong values in life and social pressures, and I can really feel a shift and pivoting into the right values and that change, that more permanent change.
Yes, yes. Pivoting the right value is a good phrase, but we have to understand this value system from Eastern wisdom. Don't go to the modern psychology and sociology and no, no. First, you understand, transform yourself, and then you can correlate. Because if you relate it to the sociology or modern psychotherapy, it will not work. You have to be very careful. Beautifully said. Hari, wake up.
Thank you, sir. So practice was calm, and the understanding is like that, that when I get up in the morning, so all the past impressions that come will act as a preset values for the day, and it's like that my entire day sometimes it defined on those values like which is coming from the past, and I don't see the things clearly, which is independent of those past things which has already happened earlier. But I can there's a chance that I can see it independently without putting those things in front of those.
Yes, you're right. Yes, we are living in a relationship, and I see that my mind is wandering into the past. Why should it wander into the past? And it makes that event so big. If it is negative event, then I am defensive or offensive. I am reacting. Yes. So those preset values, if they are dissolved, the life changes. Life changes. You can constantly start living from moment to moment. Yes, engineer Ashok, I have been talking about this engineering stuff. How are you?
Sir, namaste. Sir, namaste, and thank you so much for the all things. Sir, oh mind, be at peace. This will also pass away. It's like that. Come back.
Yes, that is also a wonderful phrase my master used to say. Your mind is lost somewhere; it is wandering. But who will make you aware to say, "Oh mind, be at peace"? This will also pass. Who will make you aware?
We have to be aware all the time, sir.
You have to be. So if you are aware all the time, then you need not to practice anything. Then you need not. You are already aware, so you need not to even say that. Oh mind, be at peace. This will also pass.
But we are not aware all the time, na? That's why we have to say that.
You are not aware all the time. That is why you have to say, "Oh mind, be at peace. This will also pass, or come back, or value." But who will make you aware to say that, "Oh mind, be at peace"?
we have to practice. We can say that.
Follow the 11 steps without any fail. That will help you to, in a darkness, in an extreme darkness, you see there is a ray of light and you approach. That ray of light is come back. Oh mind, be at peace. But how it comes? When you do the practice regularly of these 11 steps. Very good. Very good. So we will meet again. Thank
Namaste,
you.
sir. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir.